Welcome to my How to Spot a Deepfake AI Doctor on Social Media 13-point checklist. So 1, if you're in the UK and if it's an NHS doctor selling you something, they shouldn't be. So that's your first red flag. And if you do see someone selling something, then go to a trusted resource. So if you're in the UK, that will be the NHS website, and obviously elsewhere you'll have similar kinds of like official resources on health information. Point 2, if you're skeptical of an AI doctor online, then if you're in the UK, you can actually check to see if they are a registered real doctor. You can do that by going to the General Medical Council's website, and they have a page where you can literally put in the name of somebody and search to check their registration status and any comments about them. And I'll put that link in comment. Point 3 is that, of course, the only problem with step 2 is that if we're talking about deepfake AI channel who is impersonating a real doctor, yeah, the doctor is going to show on the list, but you're still watching a fake channel. So we also need to know how to recognize a fake of a person who's being impersonated. This is a crime. In the UK, it's illegal to impersonate a doctor, but we also need to think about how we can check to see whether it could be a deepfake and not the actual person who it's claiming to be. Which brings me on to point 4, which is to think about what they are saying or what they are selling. First of all, think back to point 1. An NHS doctor shouldn't be selling anything, but if they are promising exaggerated claims, so 100% cure or 100% safe or no side effects or you'll be cured of cancer in 3 days, anything like that should ring some alarm bells. Good doctor or a good scientist just wouldn't make those kind of sweeping claims. Point 5, if they recommend a website to go to, you can also look at their website, and if they have anything in the UK which has prescription medicines advertised on the homepage with prices on, that is not allowed. So that's an immediate red flag of why you should avoid it. And if they're selling any kind of prescription medicine without requiring a prescription, again, no. Point 6 is again more on the related website if there is one, and there's certain things you can look for, so this will apply outside of the UK as well. If there's options to pay in cryptocurrency, be careful. If there's an option for next day delivery, and this is something which requires like a medical diagnosis, then an AI chatbot a legal one, can support a decision, but a human doctor has to oversee it and has to sign it off and has to prescribe it. And therefore, given the time that might add on to it, reviewing, sourcing the prescription, etc., and sending it out. If there's loads of pop-up ads on the website, again, major red flags. If you look at the contact information and there's no kind of physical or street address, if you get to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm sure this is legit, and you're about to put your bank details in and you're kind of going through the bank transaction stage, then another warning sign is if you're not being asked to put either the name of the website or the name of the medication in your transaction reference. Any sign of mistakes or sloppy details on the web page are big red flags, and any kind of unusual web addresses. 7, so let's go back to the AI doctor channel and what the person is saying. Whatever their claim they're making, cross-check it, because if it's being said somewhere like on the NHS website or on another trusted resource, you can be more confident that there's accuracy in the claim what they're making. But listen to that alongside these other points as well. Point 8, I would say, that is don't do anything quickly. If the channel is trying to pressure you into a quick sale, if there's any kind of like time a countdown to like complete a transaction or get this deal if you buy it within the next 5 minutes, then avoid it, because it's likely they want to rush you for a reason. Now, that's either because they know there's a chance their site will get taken down fairly soon, so they want your money, or their details if actually all they want is to like rip your private details, or they don't want you to have time to verify and check the info because you're likely to find out it's bullshit. Point 9 is to just remember that social media is an echo chamber, and the way algorithms and social media works is that the more you search or watch something, the more you'll see of it, which means that it can all of a sudden feel like everybody who you're watching or you're doing is using this product or following this channel, which can give a false indication of its legitimacy. But also, it's worth being mindful of affiliate marketing and how much that is used in the health space and influencer marketing, and just be very mindful if somebody's recommending something that it's not because they're being paid to do so. Point 10, be very skeptical of an AI doctor who is overly dramatic or heavily making use of personal stories which make you feel a sense of emotional feeling or they connect with you deeply, if it's evoking feelings of sympathy or any sense of urgency, because this is classic social media selling tactics, hooking you in, making you feel connected, like they're speaking directly to you, like they're your best friend and they understand it. That's social media marketing. Point 11, check and verify the account. So it's not always easy to spot a deepfake, particularly with generative AI. Deepfakes have got very good and and very advanced. They don't necessarily look glitchy anymore. So if it's really polished and human, still doesn't mean it's legit. But if something is too perfect or too polished, that actually in itself could be a sign of AI. Take a screenshot of the video and reverse image search it, because what you might find is that the person or the background has been used in another context and another image. And if that's the case, that's a good indication that it's AI generated content. Check to see whether you're watching an original clip, an original channel, or whether you're watching a repost, a remix, or a share, or somebody talking about another creator. Look at the actual account. So go to their account, look at their account, look at how often they're posting, look at their numbers of views. So high views can sometimes be an indication that something's AI generated. If you look at in my video, it's coming out later in the week, I'm going to talk about some cases. And in those cases, one of the problems was that the deepfake AI accounts had extremely high numbers of views. It can be a sign that it's content farm, particularly if they're producing huge numbers of outputs a week or even a day sometimes, because the reality is for a human creator, it takes time to prepare something, to film it, to edit it, and to get it out. Look at the claim, look at the info, look at the product which is being recommended, being sold or advised. Is anyone else recommending it? Is anyone else providing it? Is it being talked about online? Who is talking about it? If it's just influencers promoting it, be very, very skeptical. The other thing to be careful about is searching something using an AI chatbot yourself, because the problem with generative AI is that it can provide hallucinations to support what it's saying. So it might actually provide a made up source. Point 12 is to look really carefully about the face and facial features of the person at the front of the account or the channel. Is the skin wrinkled? Does it have lines expected for the person's age? Are the shadows in the right place to suggest that a human has got lights on them and it's being filmed and not AI generated? Does the hair look real? How often is the person blinking? Are they lip syncing? Has it been dubbed? Point 13, which is my last point, although I'm going to give you a bonus point at the end for making it to this far in the video. Listen to what they're basing their claims on, and don't just trust because they say it is based on evidence or based on scientific research that it actually is, because people have clocked on to the need to say that, but it often is based on either a very loose understanding about science and research or just a manipulation of it. Look up any sources which are mentioned, check they exist, who's published it, where it's published. Also, when it comes to like research and evidence as well, like one study is just one study, and normally for medicine or something to be approved, you would be looking at like hundreds and hundreds of tests being reported on after clinical trials and checked. It will be examined by the scientific community before it even kind of gets near public consumption. Be mindful that just because it cites a reference doesn't mean it's either true, or two, it's not findings which are taken out of context. And wellness influencers are very good at taking a study and presenting the findings out of context to support the narrative they want to give. Be very skeptical if it's based heavily on personal stories of success, if it's dramatic or emotional. So that's 13, but before you go, I'm going to give you a bonus one with the caveat, it annoys me, but it is a good rule of thumb around spotting fakes online and offline actually. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. I'm going to leave you with that one. Now, I hope you found this how-to guide useful. You can apply many of these points in like loads of different ways. This is not just about checking AI generated doctors. It's generally useful advice for like navigating the internet safely, and particularly when it comes to like dodgy claims, dodgy products. Now, I've come up with this list using a mix of my own knowledge and experience from being an academic researcher in this space for 20 years now, like with kind of the stuff I've been doing. But I've also pulled on some other sources as well. So things like the NHS, MHRA, and broader guidance around AI deepfakes, sifted it and gone through it and pulled it together and explained it in my own way. And I'm going to link some of those resources. Perhaps you've got some other tips as well. If you do have some other tips, then get them added in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and come back for the deep dive about the hidden crimes of AI fake doctors coming out on Sunday. But until then, stay curious, stay rogue, and above all, my curious kitties, stay safe out there.